Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the proceedings of the TRRC. Imam, you have the floor. If you can offer some prayers, please.
Thank you, Chair. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina as-siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alayhim ghayril maghdubi 'alayhim waladdallin. فلله الحمد رب السماوات ورب الأرض رب العالمين وله الكبرياء في السماوات والأرض وهو عزيز الحكيم ربنا إننا آمنا فاغفر لنا ذنوبنا وقنا عذاب النار برحمتك اللهم فصل وسلم وبارك على هذا النبي سيد العظيم ذو القلب الرحيم سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين الحمد لله رب العالمين الحمد لله رب العالمين آمين.
Amen. Shukran, Imam Jallo. Bishop, you have the floor, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Lord God of power and might, the creator, the sustainer and preserver of all humankind throughout the whole universe, we continue to bring our supplication unto you that you grant us in every nations of the world good leadership, good administration, good employers, and good business people. We pray that you, by Holy Spirit, will order the life of all humankind to be kind to one another, to be patient with one another, and to demonstrate the spirit of love with each and every human being. We continue to submit the witnesses that will come before us, the TRRC. And we do ask that you will grant them and enable them to be bold in their witness, and also grant the Commission the discerning spirit to discern between truth and falsehood. We commit the population of this nation to you and those in the diaspora, that grant them also the spirit of humility and of patience, so that the due process will take its proper course. This we ask through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much indeed, Bishop Adeko. Council, if we are ready with this morning's witness, you may proceed, please.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, commissioners, and members of the audience. We are ready to proceed. May I ask that the witness be ushered in, please?
Thank you.
I, Alhaji Lang Ceesay,
nte Alhaji Lang Ceesay,
Nte Alhaji Lang Ceesay,
do swear that
mben kalila ko,
mben kalila ko,
I'll speak the truth,
mbe toñale fola,
mbe toñale fola,
the whole truth,
toñada ma,
toña damma,
and nothing but the truth.
nte fem fola men manke toñati.
nte fen fola min manke toñati.
So help me God.
Woto alama alayendema.
To ma ko yala.
Good morning, Mr. Ceesay.
Sama Mr. Ceesay.
Welcome to the TRRC.
Bismillah TRRC.
You say your name is Alhaji Lang Ceesay.
Iko ito mo Alhaji Lang Ceesay lati.
Are you known by any other name?
Ninga bot Alhaji Lang Ceesay la moli lon to do la bang.
Ha.
Yes.
And what is that name?
Wala mo to jumati.
Keba diba.
Keba diba.
Okay. Keba Diba or Lang Ceesay alias Keba Diba.
Keba diba dolka for Lang Ceesay.
You have just taken a note to speak the truth.
Ye kalo thale andung wala mjinti ko ibe toñale fola.
And it is a criminal offense, really, to lie before the TRRC or to lie under oath.
And nyimu luwa tinyalti toña pour ye kuma soto balo fo tumala men ye kalota TRRC jang andung Gambia banko fanan kan luwa tinyala.
So you are well advised to be as truthful as possible.
No ye yamar le nyina ko police ke modi me alon ko la kuma kan be avec la toñalati.
So
You are called today to testify about your encounter with a group of youths around Abuko Lamin area and your subsequent encounters with the NIA and other government security officers.
Ye kuma le jan dalilo men kama jan wala nyinti ko ini sey nyolo e men inin kafo do men soto nyola men kata Abuko Lamin fanna ma fangolati biro mbodala ina rene muta yesamba NIA fana yesindi je.
So what is your date and place of birth?
Ela wulu sang ani wulu ta lunjumal.
Nguluta Badibu Salikenye,
I was born in Badibu, Salikenye,
Date?
19th April 1969.
19th April 1969.
Where did you go to school?
Ye karam munjumale mabe.
Serakunda Primary School.
Serakunda Primary School.
From 1977 for after 6 years.
1977
To 83.
83.
83.
And thereafter, what did you do?
Biro bodala muneke.
That Latikunda Secondary Technical School.
I went to Latrikunda Secondary Technical School.
Then Natana Nosia Karamoke.
Then I studied nursing later.
And did you work as a nurse anywhere?
O inara na dugo ke ka no sori dinkirato ba.
Ha.
Yes.
Banko Fana Jamama Nosia Dokual.
I went to many parts of the country as a nurse.
Which places?
Dinkiraju malu.
Nga Bakadaji ke Jimara Bakadaji 91.
I had a stint in Jimara Bakadaji, 1981.
Then Nata moved to Kulari, Basse Tundoka.
Then I moved to Kulare in Basse.
Sanji Sabaka Nata da Basse Famala Health Center to.
I spent 3 years there. Then I moved to the Basse Health Center.
Nata na Sound Tujereng Health Center Fanang.
Then I transferred to Tujereng Health Center in 96.
Then Kercherno, 97, la early late part of 97, Kercherno Baba.
Then Kercherno Baba at the latter part of 1997.
Then Natana eye care course Fananke RVH in 98.
Then I did an eye care course in RVH in 1998.
Then in Natam post Buyam Health Center.
Then I was posted to the Biam Health Center.
From Sibano to Kalaji oversee.
And I oversaw Biam and Kalaji area.
And then from there, Natana ta Sintet Fanang, 99 kata 2000 ka.
And from there, I went to Sintet between 99 and 2000.
Then from 2000, Natana ta Hijola, Kabilin Nata Otum Tata Serakunda Health Center.
2000, I went on a pilgrimage. When I returned, I went to the Serakunda Health Center.
Up to somewhere around end of 95, kata 96 ka.
2005 or 2006?
Sorry. 2005, 2006. Not midwifery ke Bansang Koteke. Then
between 2005 and 6, I studied midwifery at Bansang.
Natam post Banjul Health Center.
Then I was posted to the Banjul Health Center.
You no longer working as a nurse, are you?
No, Mantara service gonna say.
No, I'm not within the service at the moment.
Can you tell us what happened on 12 August 2012?
For isa phone no nyamuna keta August karo til tang anim fula 2012 song kono ba.
Jalo Franco Mankendea, also patient Lemonti from 1991.
You know, I'm an also patient from 1991.
So I got a treatment la Dakar.
So I used to go to Dakar on treatment.
CTO. This particular day, what treatment or appointment on Monday. So Sunday.
On that particular Monday, I was going for the treatment, but on the Sunday
evening, I cross Monday morning appear at the clinic.
I was across on the evening of that Sunday so that I could appear at the clinic on the Monday morning.
So on my way home,
on my way home, going to pick up my belongings.
Interception auto.
As soon as I got to the Abuko intersection, I saw a vehicle parked in front of me and the people were surrounding it.
16 passenger van.
It's a 16-passenger van, red in color.
So
I horned so that it could move, so that I could pass, but it did not move.
Then I divert. So
I diverted to a side to pass.
All of a sudden, a group in attend the motoka.
And all of a sudden, that group came and pounced on my vehicle. They asked me to stop.
Because
some cattle were coming. When those pass and get inside Abuko, then we could pass.
I was trying to explain.
In fact, the boy who was standing in front of my vehicle, I tried to explain to him, telling him that I am not well. I am trying to rush to catch up with the ferry because I was going to the hospital.
In which language did you speak to him?
Mandinka.
In Mandinka.
Was he able to respond to you in Mandinka?
For another silo soro no labanke jabe ni ngo kankili mo labam memo Mandinka kangote ba.
Ay jabiro be keta kuma kamalti don nendro le me be kala tenni de lo foni sole tambi.
Their responses were just insults, and they were insisting that I had to stop until the cattle passed. Otherwise, I will not proceed.
My question was he able to respond to you in the Mandinka language?
Yes.
Proceed.
I told him that the cattle will not waste my time, because if I should wait, it will disturb me, because I'm supposed to appear at the hospital the next morning. I am on the oath, and I'm saying exactly how the statement was made.
So
they refused. So the discussion was very not amicable, tense between us. Yeah. So they started to beat me up. They could not hit me by raising their hands and hit me, but they were taking their sticks which they used to hurt the cattle, and they were punching me inside.
From which direction?
Fanna Jumala. Motola Palatero Mimbejam on the other side, because what we are baby jirin.
At the side windows, because the glass of the window was, the car was down.
How many of them were doing that?
There could be up to 20 people. There were many boys, the herders and the green boys.
How did they all manage? How did it happen that all of them converged on you? You were speaking to only one person. When they
told me to stop, the time he was coming, the others were already standing in front of the vehicle.
Motor stop wala nyama pura kanata.
That was how they stopped the vehicle so that it would not move on.
So atelina ta palantero to kadiya munye.
So he came to the window trying to talk to me.
But nyindol be kurupri no motor ale.
But these ones were surrounding the vehicle.
So where were you hit?
Sa ye fadi mindole, ye liva mindole.
Tongoto nanyin kapa fefel to.
On my neck, on my shoulders, on both hands.
Vembe siri nyame dawda exposed ta sakabon kabota santola yol be point le. Katam kuola inside to la no.
Just as I am sitting here, any part of my body that was exposed, including my head, were all punched.
What kind of sticks were those? Were they big or small sticks?
Doko sifanya dilem wara malem bang fokanya ningolem.
Jargo la podon lendra manke doko balti. Bari dole tukuro sotole, comme doko e kungo sotole.
These were the sticks they used to herd cattle. Some of them had knobs at the end, not at the end.
Proceed.
Kabiru waketa kumo siata.
After that happened, there was a lot of talk.
Dolienda bunda doyele.
Some of them opened one of the front doors. They held my hand.
So donata nyimbunda doyele.
The other one came, opened the other door. And they wanted to drag me out of the vehicle.
Ngambulo wafu nyindo bulu.
I tried to free myself from this other guy who held me. I held the gearbox.
The handle.
The handle of the gearstick, right?
Yeah.
On the left side.
So that these ones cannot drag me out of the vehicle from the left-hand side.
Because what convenient
because it is more convenient for me to alight from that end.
In that way, murodo benna moto kono na leyam fara muroda banasale nim banasale lenka bondi.
There was a knife in my vehicle which I used to slaughter my sacrificial lamb and which was used only on the occasion of the Tawaski feast. But that Sunday, early Sunday, I gave out a charity for one of my older brothers. It was a knife I used to slaughter the animal and also to flay it. So I did not return it and it was in the vehicle. As I held the gear stick tightly, my hand touched the knife. So in that commotion, in that commotion and in that tense situation, I put my hand around this guy's head and tried to pin him to the steering wheel.
Exactly what mean from Kawala Footing. See, can I tell you, but man fell 15 or Lalimbulangata.
I took the knife and I said to him, and I'm telling you exactly what I said to him. I said to him, I can slaughter you now, but I am not in the mood for trouble. Allow me to go.
And what did you do? Did you leave him or did you not?
I eventually left him. When he tried and freed his head from my grip, he said in Wolof, he's holding a knife. And they scattered. So I engaged my gear and moved.
But 4-wheel jangolem, I dragged them. That new petrol station, Abuko Nature Reserve Law Comfort.
At that time, they had put some car tires in front of my vehicle wheels and some sticks, but I was able to drag them until the new petrol station.
At this stage, where were the cattle? Have they crossed the road or they were still crossing?
Nintembenna, Ninsol ile, for Atola, for a silo ya kundula bang for water masilo kundu follow.
Fitino water Ninsol natale dunta.
That at that time, the vehicles, the cattle had already come in. They had already gone in.
Was there any need for your vehicle to be blocked from continuing, as at the time you had this final encounter with the boys?
fo sulo be nun jele ba o wato la puru yetela moto nyi ye bantambila nyato wato men na itene nyin kamba no nyin albe o nyo sababu wicho men wa ko ke kan wato men
sulatije
There was no need.
Why did you say that?
They were
mane
just
ya sabu ide ofo
ni solbe distance minto kabirin tolbe lori wodlato
the distance where the cattle were and where we were standing.
desita no le fonga futa abuko essentiel to ni sol man futa nan kadum
I could have gone up to Abuko or the petrol station and the cattle would not have arrived at the time.
So they were far away.
ambe jamfari nenu
ebe jamfar nenu
They were far away.
ko sikela dibo hayna nanne moto lampol koma ikanisi ikaka fole jani kankan moto lampol nyato nan moto rango be jamfari koma.
When the car lights, if you look in front, you'll see the dust and the shape of the cattle coming, but they were far off.
Yes, proceed, please.
ten
Kabirim futata abukolo wo essentiel dalaje
When I got to the Abuko petrol station, I alighted.
njita man ngamano bulado mandim pour wo moto singo se bo moto koto.
I went off the road a little bit so that those car tires would be taken out of from under the vehicle.
Proceed kata yundum pour kana fengolta.
Then I proceeded to Yundum to pick my belongings.
Kabimbe futala Yundum police station.
When I got to the Yundum police station.
Banjulinding police station.
When I got to the Banjulinding police station.
Police on approach Nyameng, the way I motor stop Nyamen Rongalonko, ya kumandile ka kumafai.
The manner in which the policeman stopped my vehicle, I suspected that he must have been called and informed about the incident.
At this stage, did you have an idea who were the people you had an encounter with?
fo tambola fo anara ne les isondo moto le bang kay tandila ko itani wo mol meo nyo sabo soto jumal la moldi
Wato mimbe jo sabo be kering ngaje don ko fula kantar lalle muyti.
At the time that
Musa fo kantar lalle kana any tribe mention, but ngaje ko kantar ni si kantar lalle mu jari ko le muyti.
At the time that tussle was happening, what I thought was these were just cattle herders.
Did you at that stage know who owned the cattle?
fo tambola anara ne isondo moto kay tandila ko jumal ta mo ni solti
Kamano ka fole ko yala ni solle katambi.
Yes, the boy was saying Yaya's cattle are passing.
So which Yaya was he referring to?
abe yaya jumal law
Yaya Jammeh.
Former president of the Republic.
All right. And when you arrived at Abuko, the police stopped you?
Yeah, Banjulinding police station.
Banjulinding police station. What happened next?
mana kita bidi fudra banjulundum police station or police o lote nyaro
Ako nganda kaytol, ako nyela kaytol le.
He said to me, where are your documents?
Nge bondi nge diala. License on insurance.
I removed them and handed over to him the license and the insurance.
Ako nye jorangole be bulu moto kono bankai ha.
He asked me, do you have a weapon inside your vehicle? And I said, yes.
Ako nyale ngamuro sika ngadiala.
He said to me, where is it? I picked up the knife and handed it to him.
Ako nye ini mole joteta siloka.
He said to me, did you have any trouble with people along the way?
Nkai ha ako nye ko nge arrest.
I said to him, yes. And he said, I'm told to arrest you.
Okay. Mbita suwo kono ngana fengolta ninnata ngata station auto.
I told him, well, I'm going to my house to pick up my belongings. When I come, we can go to the station.
Akabe dunna moto kono nkai no na particular be bulu kai. No need mbatu jandro ngana.
He wanted to come into the vehicle, and I told him it was not necessary since you have my particulars. Just allow me to go home and I'll come.
Did he tell you who asked him to arrest you?
aya fo na majumala ko pura e mutaba
Ani amo nakumo mafuta auto.
No, we did not.
Entertain.
We didn't discuss that. He didn't entertain that.
Proceed.
Ndengata to station auto ndata suwo kono ngana bago ni tawelota murta na ngata raje.
I left him at the station, went home, picked my bag and my towel, and returned back to the station and found him there.
Ambulandi moto kono ndata Abuko station.
I boarded the vehicle and I took him to the Abuko station.
Because ako isilo kana konyeko Abuko station le sulatela.
Because along the way he told me that you are needed at the Abuko station.
Mfutata?
We arrived.
SO membije.
SO that was there.
Kwenye eni mole dunta nyola nkai ha.
Said to me, you have a problem with people, some people? I told him yes.
Kani life family farm Akonye Kanilai family farm.
He said to me, Kanilai family farm.
Okay, so akonye mbatungate ikumandi na yenana.
I said to him, okay, but then he said to me, give me time, let me call them so that they can come.
Nga bulandi na moto konon tata kata abukola interception oto pour nga nyol taraje ni na nyola.
I put him in, he boarded my vehicle. I took him along to the Buko intersection so that we could bring these people to come along with them.
Okay, ntolbe ni lendo ka minkata itolni trakito fa ibina ni lendo ka kwenye kwa ifeleti kana ntonta ni batu station.
We were on the right lane going, and they were coming also on the other lane and full in a tractor. And he said, "Here they come," and so we took a turn and we came along.
Okay, kabili futata station auto idundana ibedundana station okono minu kuntaje because amang wara baake minu kuntaje wol dundana.
When they arrived, they got into the station because the station is not very wide. So those who could fit came inside. They asked me.
Ila timo miya lead Badu Bojang.
The one that led the team, Badu Bojang.
Which team are you referring to?
The group that came.
This Kanilai family farm group ni.
The Kanilai family farm group.
Kanilai family farm la mollemo.
It was there that I knew that these were people of the Kanilai family farm.
Green boy solo be kono and this ex-soldier so mi ka ni solo kanta yaya.
Amongst them were green boys and the others were ex-soldiers who herded cattle for Yaya.
Nga the story in the side of the story explain because what you tell you complain or safeje le fabanta.
So I explained my side of the story, but before that they had already lodged their complaint and all that was written down.
Then that Mr. Bojang kwenye ko kabla ya kumuola mai fabanta kwenye Dr. misunderstanding on his words.
So that Mr. Bojan, after listening to everything, said to me, "Doctor, there was only a misunderstanding." And these are his words. He said that we should bring these cattle and take them to Abuko so that tomorrow we can distribute them for the feast. I said, I don't have any connection with the cattle. These people just pounced on me and they brutalized me. There was tension was about to arise there and a lot of talk, but he calmed the situation.
Then natabulo di nyola I read penta I filed buko rule.
Then we shook hands and he took a red pen and ruled.
And what did that signify to you?
To signify that everything is over, the case has been cancelled.
Including Badu,
those that we were close together with, including Badu, we shook hands. At the time I was coming, I came along with one Sirifo. We were supposed to go to Dakar together, but he was outside. I picked him and we shook hands with the SO and I told him that we are proceeding to Dakar. That was how we went, and luckily we met the ferry and we crossed.
So coming kuonyo kuala nata impact nyen kala mota nanyin be kuliata fo ayitita na dendiko kono ntongo jamfana yitita.
But after the incident, I experienced some pain, some swellings on my arms, my neck. My head too was injured, it was swollen. The Sirifo told me, "You are injured." I said, "Well, let's just leave everything in the hands of God." I said, because during the time of this problem, anything could have happened, but God gave me a calm mind and I was able to get out of it free. We took our laissez-passer at Hamdallah. I took it to the police to have it registered.
After registration, there's this ASP Alhaji Ceesay.
After the registration, there was an ASP called Alhaji Ceesay. I was standing with him outside, beside my vehicle. We were chatting.
ala telefono fu vibration of ringing ne mang show bari ay attention ko ala attention dal tata ala telefono.
I don't know whether the telephone rang or it was on vibration, but somehow his attention was drawn to his telephone.
Nga moy ako Alaji Lang Ceesay.
I heard him say Alaji Lang Ceesay.
Abuko Station.
Abuko Station.
Okay, Kanilai Family Farm. Ala what soul?
Kanilai Family Farm, and these were his words.
Then Abafokan, yes sir, okay sir, yes sir, okay sir.
Then he was saying yes sir, okay sir, yes sir, okay sir.
I telephone lani.
He placed the telephone.
Konye dombay, hana defa am nyo jotel si yon bi.
And said to me, my relative in Wolof, did you have any problems with people along the way?
Okay, wow. Okay, why case bi jehna nyom ñu ne misunderstanding na won.
I said to him, yes, but the case has ended because they said it was only a misunderstanding.
Akonye ñu ne ma jappala fi de.
He told me, well, they told me to keep you here.
Okay, okay.
I said, okay.
Then akonye ila moto dundi.
Then he told me to take my vehicle inside.
Ntela moto belore adame ani distance ni ani border la distance kadun Senegal kono, it's just like the edge of the wall. Janning the edge of the wall.
Where I was, my vehicle was parked and the Senegalese side of the border. The distance was just like from where I am on the edge of the wall. Between 10 and 12 meters, not more than that. And there's nothing in front of me that can stop me from crossing the border. But I had this mindset that since I have done nothing wrong to anybody, police station or quarters to je. I turned the vehicle and parked inside at the police headquarters.
So yen sorong o cage kono.
The
immigration like cage mimbe am the police post to je.
So they locked me at the cage.
In the cell.
In the cell at the immigration.
Man do cell of kono. I did not. Cage le follow soto.
I did not go into the cell. You know you have a cage.
It is still a cell, but
okay.
Go ahead.
Yes, okay. Thank you for clarifying. I
was there the whole night. Till morning.
Yeah, one jobate. Something jobate.
There was one jobate who was called and told to take me to Banjul.
He was in plain clothes. I'm in uniform.
He was not dressed in uniform. He was in plain clothes. That day it rained heavily. I started my vehicle, took him on board, and we went.
But almost 3 hours.
We got to the terminal and we spent about 3 hours waiting for the ferry. We went upstairs and I was in the vehicle waiting for him. He was sleeping beside me and everything was very easy for me to go on my own business, but I didn't do anything.
They treated the matter as a state matter.
They treated the matter as a state matter.
Then ferry nata a priority dinna ndunta nyato.
So when the ferry arrived, we were given a priority and we boarded in front.
Data for Abuko Station. Cabin ferry landed on Tata State Abuko Station.
When the ferry landed, we went straight to the Abuko Station.
A young handover, that was coming 4, 5, 6, 5 miles from there, around 5.
And he handed me over between 4 and 5 in the evening.
At a tonta.
He returned.
Then I
said to the SO, I said to him, I did not sleep overnight. And I did not have my breakfast and I'm fasting. I requested to be allowed to go home and rest and return after breaking the fast. He said, Doctor, that is not a problem.
Why do they call you doctor?
In Africa,
well, you know, here in Africa, even if you only carry out injection or give out paracetamol, you are identified as a doctor.
So,
That name also is one. That name is one.
Mentioned earlier.
That name is one that is frequently used, to identify me. If I were to have a third name, that is a name it would be. Sorry that I did not mention this earlier on. I started my vehicle and went home.
Were you released? Were you granted bail at that time?
There was no discussion at the time before any judgment. There was no talk. There was no talk yet. What brought me there, I was not yet told. I went home, prayed, and slept until around 7, and I broke fast. I prayed the 7 p.m. prayers, and I slept again, lay down again.
Almost around 9.
I woke up around 9. I picked up the telephone. I called the SO. I asked him, "Are you still at the station?" He said, "No, I'm not there yet."
Okay, I'm going ahead of you.
And I said, "Well, I'm going ahead of you." I started my vehicle. I told my wife that I'm going out and coming back. I went to the station. Between 10 minutes or so, the SO came. He said, "Wait for me, let me call these people so that they can come and we discuss this issue."
Okay.
I said, "Okay."
Within 10 minutes, Mitsubishi Pajero dark glasses.
We made a call, and within 10 minutes, a Mitsubishi vehicle came in with tinted glasses. 2 individuals alighted.
Gambia Kung Fu la President Yala. Gambia Kung Fu Association la President Yala.
One of them I knew while I was president of the Gambia Kung Fu Association.
Black belt city at Kabriba inaugurate la.
I was the one who awarded him the black belt when he was inaugurated.
Wonata aning keodo minga fana londe se common person to me kafa Liz Gomez, the late Liz Gomez.
He came with some other person I knew also called Liz Gomez, the late Liz Gomez.
Did they both work for the same institution?
Yes,
Yes, I later knew that this Ibu was also with the NIA. The time I knew Liz was in the NIA because we usually met.
And then,
we greeted. They went inside and called the ESO.
1 or 2 minutes, ESO.
After 1 or 2 minutes, the ESO called me. So Liz said to me, "Oh, Ceesay, it's you." I said, "In what?" Said, "You are the one who had a problem with the people of the Kanilai family farm." I said, "Yes." He said, "They told me to pick you up." I said to him, "Where are you taking me?" He said, "NIA."
Okay.
I said, "Okay." They started their vehicle, and I started my vehicle, and I followed them.
Second to last petrol station before Stinkono, can you follow?
We went until when we reached Joshua, before the petrol station, where there is a garage. It was raining. Their vehicle, which was ahead of me, signaled to the right. I also signaled. They parked, and I parked, leaving a distance between us. That man I told you, I tied his black belt called Ibusanya.
I awarded him the black belt called Ibusanya.
He alighted.
Anata asitan na moto nyato.
He came and sat in front of my vehicle.
Odo tata mbulata nom.
The other one proceeded, and we followed after him.
Kwenye ko yalong Ceesay ibe sabarlal drong ñun la kuolu.
He said to me, well, Ceesay, you just have to be patient. You know, these people and their things.
Yeah, muneketa.
I said, what's
Tell me
happening?
what is going on.
What's going on?
Akonye no hani fe mbari yalo ila kuol kasiali.
He said, nothing. But you know, these people, their things are too much.
Mika ngabe tu alabulo.
I told him, let's leave everything with God.
Tententa wanya form futata NIA.
We proceeded like that until we got into the NIA.
Ndunta ila moto dunta na mfana dunte noma.
Their vehicle went in, and I also followed them in.
Parkta marala.
He parked on the left,
Kambano nyun kwenye loja mafon.
and the man told me, stand this other side.
Mbejita.
We all alighted.
Lis kwenye ko ila bagasole ila kaitole.
Please said to me, where are your belongings? Where are your documents?
Kwenye adinyo la tabulo toja.
He said, give to these people here at the desk.
So na back in dole bambul na kaitol ni information ne leftan kaitol ni fengol bebe ale na boro bo kono nu.
I had a small bag, my papers, my documents, and my medication were all there.
So ngawo kaito ngawo back in dota ngadi ala.
So I took the small bag and handed it over to him.
Kwenye fente la jifo kono ko hani.
They asked me, do you not have anything inside your pockets? I said no.
Ila telephone le ko fele.
Where are your telephones? And I told them, here they are.
Okay, Elise kwenye okay, be suba ni waxtan mayo.
Then he said to me, till tomorrow. Tomorrow you and I are going to discuss.
Kay dama fanan fi.
I said to him, am I spending the night here?
Kwenye wow suma ñew electric ni waxtan.
He said to me, yes, tomorrow, as soon as I come, we will discuss.
Ko okay.
I said, okay.
Butung do mimbe ni gatsol mimbe.
So the guards that were there,
Kilin ko doye ko ala samba o selo to jana.
one of them said to the others, take him to that other cell there.
Nkay ko wel nimbe dula de termo ton ka fitile den kala fent lale.
I told him that when I am in a tight place, I used to suffocate, and sometimes I almost faint.
Akonye ni na taje ka tere fan sawo.
He told me, when you come here, you are not always doing things according to your will.
Okay.
I said, okay.
Yen samba.
They took me.
Yen dundi NIA konotola ntata kofta bulu bala la dote de natan dundi bundo kona cage bunda fulale bala teng.
They took me inside the NIA and into a room which had a door, cage-like looking.
Sita mang situation no mira no mang alhalo landi no nyama.
I sat down and I could not come to understand everything that was happening around me.
Fon telephone be alhalo nyun kono akamunta fe si bolti mbaka faham no.
So it was like a dream to me. I couldn't understand.
It
shook me. It was beyond what I could actually come to perceive. I got up and decided to pray. There was a bottle standing.
Plastic bottle.
When I smelled it, it was the smell of urine. There was another one there, empty, standing there. I was confused as to how to perform my ablution.
This was around about 11:30.
Then I heard the doors opening and the sound was approaching me. This was around 11. They removed the chain and they opened the door. The guard said to me, Ceesay, come and answer here. You are needed here by some people. He proceeded and I followed after him.
Okay. He took
me upstairs and we got to a big hall just as this place is. People were sitting in front, but there were rows of seats on the sides. When he opened the door, when we arrived, he opened the door and I got inside and I faced them. The lights were on.
For us for use bang I told for that either us or use, but it sounds like that.
There was a deep voice I heard say us or use.
The light
said to him, the lights.
From the group na benta sirangol tema.
So that guy walked from the group, and we met in the middle of where the chairs were arranged.
How was the person dressed?
Ke yere le mai ordinary clothes le dundro. My uniform do ordinary clothes le bara.
He was dressed in ordinary clothes, not in any uniform.
Simi so le maning kutujang.
Had a shirt and a long trousers.
Nyenkelenta nyoe ntambita.
So we gave each other way and we passed.
Ntebe futala nyina ate lampofa.
As I was getting to these people, he put off the lights.
So ele telefono no malate ya jimindi purunkane sute.
So they put on their telephones and they turned them over so that I could not recognize them.
Okay, insita imafo nye jumala muitolti.
I sat down, but they did not identify who they were.
Kwenye si insita.
They told me to sit down, and I sat down.
Yonkuru.
They surrounded me.
Did you know who asked you to sit down?
Yes, after the incident, I came to realize that it was Pa Bojang.
The light.
He was the one who also said the light.
And who is this Pa Bojang?
KGI International.
He was the one at the KGI International.
Did he have any relationship with Yaya Jammeh?
Yes, they said his
and what do you mean by KGI?
Nephew.
KGI
Group International.
Group International.
Ela branch benu traffic light, Karaba Avenue.
Their branch was at the traffic light, Karaba Avenue.
So, insita Yonkuru.
I sat down and they surrounded me.
Ate for telephone and for recorder and bare abelampo maladine obe signal kanne akanyininka muneketa.
He was questioning me, but he held something which was signaling. I don't know whether it was a telephone or a recorder.
Nga aketanya menga be fai. Nga mimfoje ye mimfo aketanya men exactly nga fai wole nya.
I narrated to him exactly what transpired.
Kuma fe wonye stop.
He stopped that thing he was holding. The four of them went outside.
After what he done wrong,
after a short while, they returned. That slim guy we met with who went to put off the lights, he said to me in Wolof, "You are the one who is against Yaya Jammeh. Undress." Just as I bended down to remove my shirt, some held my feet, others held my hand, and I was suspended in the air like that.
Spread eagle and
yes.
Ya kumasi wale nyama kalipa fole mulungole mbare asibulu kondi fulola kafunyomo sitenting bara kuliyata domanding.
They started beating me with something which was like a plastic, but if you put two of your fingers,
rubber,
yes, if you put
it's like fan belt,
something like that, but I tiktele nak
stick.
Liparo meta diminta.
The beating took a long time. It was painful.
Nkwaye ko nga mbijengalte bulu nkanata mbweta luma.
I wiggled myself from their grips and I escaped but fell down. So as I turned, the beatings continued. So the whip that was coming down on me, I gripped it with my hand.
Ando amanke ke bambandinti aboytankang akumbalingo bentang nkaro feja.
So I held it so tight because he was not a very powerful guy. As he was trying to pull, he fell on me and his knee hit me on my side.
That heavy voice, stop.
That heavy voice told him to stop. He took it from him.
And all that
while he was recording, because when they returned, he was continuing the recording.
During that beating, were you crying?
No, I did not cry, but when he told me to release it,
wato fayda on koritale kan koriri kono kuma kan koriri to kaya ko ikaminke na kan dimin dum man fenkela.
At that time I was desperate, and I told him that
I was weak.
I was weak, and what I told him was, what you're doing to me is painful.
And I have not done anything to you.
And I have not done anything to you.
Heavy voice,
that was when that heavy voice that I later come to know to be Pa Bojang's, he told him to stop.
Then
he took the whip from him.
For many times.
You'll see him hitting the carpet for many times.
As he was doing that, where was this recording device?
He held it in his left hand. He had the recorder on his left hand, the whip on his right, and he was beating the carpet. After it took some time, he stopped and stood up.
So
they all got up, and he said to me, if you are asked, tell them that we beat you up.
Did that leave any impression with you?
The thought I had was that the beating can be repeated. That was the fear I had.
But how about the hitting of the mat, of the carpet?
That showed me that he has some sympathy for me, and also to appease someone that he has done.
He is doing something when actually he was not doing that.
Doing something when actually he wasn't doing it.
But what about the recording device?
That is to say that what he was doing is either he was recording it for someone to listen to later, or whether that was used as a listening device for someone to actually get to hear what was happening at the material time.
But the reality is you were also tortured.
Yes, I was tortured.
Did you sustain any injuries?
Yes, I had injuries because I came with the injuries from Abuko. Those were not yet taken care of. These ones also came. And sometimes even my shirt used to stick on my body. They went and left me there. They went out, but one stayed behind. He was the last to go out. I was sitting down, just like here. He came behind and put his hand on my neck and said to me, Ceesay, told me, be patient. We have seen the truth, but we cannot do anything about it.
His words.
These are his words. He said,
Jata.
Said his name was Buba Jata.
Okay. Then atata guard ni natang kamma ay lampo malantata.
He went, and then the guard came and put on the light and took me.
From what you say, was the NIA aware, the NIA as an institution, were they aware that you were being tortured?
Fo komela kumakawni ya sata janyame. Fo NIA nying ko doku bundalem. Fo ya kalamudala ko yesamba jele ki tajire ya ila sansangono jeba.
Ninkini munti.
If I am to say my own perception, they are the ones who cooked up this thing and they dished it out to me.
They know very well. Italy alone. By Italy samana ila institution auto ila mole fanankandi mole kalipa.
They know it.
Yeah, alone very well.
Because they were the ones that brought me to an institution, and it was the people who handed me over to people who tortured me.
Proceed, please.
Yenjindi woto, yenjindi o stairs to ntata dumala nika finti drong self lale be nyobala je yendu ndi killing kono.
They took me down the stairs. As soon as you come out, there were 2 cells, and they put me into one of them.
Does the cell have a name?
Yes. Later, the second day, nata moi God killing ka for do ko tasalo sikana mbamba dinka dato jeba, and then tetambira tasalo la obunda dato je.
It was the following day that I heard one of the guards say to the other, pick up the kettle from Bambadinka. And while I was passing to the cell, I saw the kettle standing there.
That's how I knew the name.
That's how I knew that it was Bambadinka that I was blocked in.
Proceed.
And then
it was janjanta.
Then they dispersed.
Ngalawo nyamale.
I spent the night there like
Janning guard nyimbita ay kabafula sambanyena.
Before the guard left, he brought 2 bottles for me.
Jibe do kono do be empty.
One had water, the other was empty.
Konye ni be jala mutale isinyi use. Isinyi do use salji mutwala.
Said if you are using yourself, you can use this other one, and the other you can use it for evolution.
Watu wale nata kataka dendu konyi mbondi no mbala. It was half torn.
That was when I tried and removed the shirt from my body, which was half torn.
Then ngasaljiyo mutante tententa salola fo sino yon korinde wato min nangal carton le beje half wet kalkilo be sinande kalkilo be jare butu ngalla wala kan o carton le ka wonyam.
That was how I prayed until I got sleepy, and then there was a curtain on the floor which was half wet. That was where I lay on.
Fanoketan nim momam kuma fo momam fem fonye fanam for almost the same time suto kotake.
Daybreak, nobody spoke to me. I was just like that until almost the same time in the night.
But this was Ramadan time.
Ha?
Did you eat?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Mandomorke.
I did not eat.
The following day in name sunte wato.
It was the following day when it was time to break fast. There were biscuits in the vehicle and my water.
The following day.
I called someone to bring them for me, and that was what I used to break fast the following day.
Between 11 and 12,
between 11 and 12 midnight, they came after me again. The door was opened, and the guy said to me, Ceesay, come and answer. People need you.
Who said that to you?
Security. The guard. Security, yes.
The same security?
Yes. He took me upstairs again.
This time, lampo be firing.
This time, the lights were off.
Mammo sute cigarette sisi ole be parem bunkono ani cigarette malol ni mobile on mimbe jimirin duma.
I did not see anybody. I did not recognize anyone. All you heard was the scent of cigarette and cigarette lights and mobile lights.
Did you smell any alcohol?
Oh, is fenne serota men kamunta membe munul defe ko dolo.
Yes, that was in the atmosphere. Yes.
Kat minu be lorun kunne belli paka.
Those who were standing over me and beating me, they were smelling of alcohol. As I got to them, they told me to sit down. I think they came with 3 branches when they were coming. Those were the ones that caused me more injuries, because some of them cut my skin, some of them tore through. I was explaining, they were beating me, they were asking me, I was explaining what happened, they were beating me until their sticks were all broken. Yeah. They got up and they told me that if anybody should ask you, tell them that we have beaten you up. When they were taking me downstairs to take me where they took me earlier,
wato ñilli parlal findita sayin
At that time, these beaters had already gone.
ila moto be lo na moto dala lampu polo koto
Their vehicle was parked close to my vehicle under the lamp pole.
be dun kad selo yin kono wato min ngaaje moto pickup fingole mu
When I was getting into my cell, I saw a black pickup.
ala side abe safira bala jonglas
On the sides was written Junglers,
a headlight jama soto ko kan santo either 4 or 5 dar wo ñom ba ko kan
and
santo
there was a row of headlights in front, either 4 or 5.
nga mol min jeje some of them mo fula bije wole ñi fel hatole dum
Two people I saw, the people I saw there, two of them were putting on felt caps.
mo sababe kono min yalon ko e fen fin wolle dum bari the distance on be ni te man te al halo sute no la
3 individuals were there who were dressed in black, but because of the distance between where I was and where they were, I could not make out who they really were.
ngalla wo nyama
I slept like that.
o so manda
The following morning,
6 tala woro ma fa
around 6,
inate daere
they came and opened the door.
Ceesay
She said,
ibe kula le bang
"Are you going to take bath?"
ko e hani
I said to them, "No."
sulata manela
"What do you need?"
ko e hani fe
I told them nothing.
ko nyo okay
They said, "Okay."
donata musu donata ay o carton sinande o bondi
One lady came, took the wet curtain,
e jalamta kapoto nyim bondi
and took the chamber pot.
ye je fita do mandi
They cleansed the place a little bit.
e da taw
They closed the door.
for 9-10 ma fa wala
I think around 9 or 10,
yen kumandi ko ten santo
they called me upstairs again.
inata yen sambaje ko nye molle sulatela
They came, took me up there, and told me people need you there.
nyindo mo so mandalti
This was in the morning.
ngata bulu batala loring
I found a big table.
siran fula ba nyato siran kilimba faye
2 chairs were in front of it. One was on its own.
gad nyen sindi wota tata
The guard sat me down there and left.
so tanin nabe siari molbe la hajol topoto kanje mol ka tambinna ngal lo modol enjeje
There was coming in and out of people, and some people who knew me saw me there.
mbije ro mo fula fintina na bundo kono ina tantara salo ento isita sira nyinka
I was there. After some time, 2 individuals came from the inside and sat there with me.
ye fan
Did they
introduce
Yes, please, go ahead. Go ahead.
ye fan introduce nye ko do ka to mo sol bajilete abata state house state guard commander
They introduced themselves. One said he was Sol Baji from the State House.
do ka to mu atobo tan konale an akonton mo gajagaleti
The other one, I've forgotten his name, but the surname
NIA
is,
director to state house
but his surname is Gajaga, and he was the NIA director at the State House.
iko yaale ki nan pure na ay na nyininka muneketa
They said that Yaya sent them to come to me to ask me what happened.
ay kuma kan tarango mala ay landin tema
He took a recorder, put it on, and put it in between us.
Which Yaya sent them?
Yaya Jumaleki.
Yaya,
State
Yaya
House.
Jammeh?
Yaya Jammeh, former president of the Gambia.
Proceed, please.
And then
Ay kuma kan tarango landi ay nyininka
he put the recorder down and asked me.
ako nyare kinan ako ngane nyininka muneketa
He said, Yaya sent us to come and ask you what happened.
akumo be explain aketa nyame ngamin foje nga fo wala nyama nga ke nyame nga ke wala nga fo wala nyama
I explained everything to him. What I said there, what I did there, I told him exactly what happened.
barata drong ay kuma kan tarango nyinta fa
He sprang up, took the recorder, and put it off.
tonta ka monyo ko
He turned and said to his colleague,
traffic offense.
"Traffic offense.
What is that doing at the State House until the president have to handle the file? Okay, traffic offense. What come in the State House for president from the Marala or Kaitwala?
Said traffic offense. What business has it got to do with the State House to the extent that the president is even getting involved?"
Is handling the dossier, is handling the case file. Proceed.
Kabre of a damale nyojibe, konyako anyway.
When they said that, they looked at each other and then they said, "Anyway,"
Konyembena report was a failure lembe bulalale.
said, "We are going to write our report and we will release you."
A wulta.
They got up.
Janibe wulla,
Before they got up,
intena malon ko bulukondim fulote meka eka kaito maboje.
Did you tell them you were tortured?
Yes, yes. Everything that happened,
Everything
in fact,
whatever, all the things that happened there, I told them. In fact, the state of my body was such that anyone that saw me would know that I have passed through something.
So yeah, numbers in case you need us.
So they wrote numbers and handed them to me and said in case I needed them.
Yeah, can you they put
that them between two of my fingers.
Itata.
They left.
God the list office on
The guard came and collected me and took me, and I sat in front of Lisa's office. So there was a chair there.
Sol Gajaga meta list office for.
But at this stage, were you aware that Sol Baji was in fact the commander of the junglers?
Not at all, because if you know him personally, that was the first time I'm seeing him.
State Guard commander.
If not for the introduction that he told me that he was a State Guard commander.
There and then, I
was there waiting for them, and they were inside with Liz Gomez. They came out and they emphasized the statement they made earlier on that they were going to release me.
After some time, Liz
called me inside.
Through a guard.
The guard took me there.
Doctor, we have nothing against you. I'll let you go home.
He said to me, Doctor, we don't have anything against you. I'll let you go. And that was his statement.
We have nothing against you. I'll let you go home.
We have nothing against you. I will let you go home.
Okay, but
I said to him, but you know me very well. Where I was detained, I have done nothing wrong to warrant that. To warrant being locked in this place. He said, no. As for now, now you are not going back to that place. He opened the door, called the guard, and told him to take me to the guard room. That was how they took me downstairs to the guard room. I spent the remainder of the day there.
4 days. I was held in Comunicado.
I was there for 4 days and my family did not know where I was. I was held in Comunicado.
Access to treatment.
I did not have access to my treatment.
Access to lawyer.
I did not have access to a lawyer.
Access to family.
I did not have access to my family.
For banna salo la sungar salo.
After the corrective prayers,
the
following day,
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure whether it was the very day or the day after. It's been a long time and I'm careful not to say something that is not true. I had a stomach upset. When I was home, the medicine that I used to use frequently, I had put it on the table. That was not in the vehicle. I told them to check into my bag. I checked there, but it was not there. I started to vomit. And they were worried.
I need to talk to my people.
I told them that I need to talk to my people.
So that
they will know what is happening. That was when they called Liz. Liz told them to give me back my phone, and I called people. That was how I called one of my senior brothers. He came there.
He's late now. Bakarin Dembo Sonko. Abandoned some time back.
He's late now, some time ago.
When
he came, I undressed. Right together.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I am
because the state of my body that you saw. We cried together. He said to me, well, now that I know you are here, if God wills it, you will leave this place.
But not now understand after covering Infintita.
What I came to understand later, after I was released,
or some personnel of the NIA,
that some personnel of the NIA,
well, they had found one poor distance from the case because
that they warned him to distance himself from the case because he was the one involved in this case.
So for 14 days.
So I was in that detention like that for 14 days.
Well, on Friday.
One day, on a Friday,
for Ceesay.
I heard it been said, we are the Ceesay.
God for Ceesay Juma, I remember detaining. Because at the time, for almost 10 days, Lunkilin ne musudo samananje iko waleka Baba Jobla musola alawanso diala through Libyan correspondence nyinto yofana muta wale asamana.
When they asked the guards asked which Ceesay, because at that time I was the only one in detention there for only for 10 days. It was one day that one lady was brought in. They said the lady was the one transacting the allowance for Baba Job's wife with the Libyans.
So, they said to
him, Ceesay is here. They opened the door and I came out. He said to me, I came to pick you. I said, where are you taking me to? He said his name was Lamin Ceesay. And I said to him, where are you taking me to?
Serious crime.
He said to me, serious crime.
Okay.
I said to him, okay.
Information on documents or data from the NIA.
I took my information, all my documents from the NIA. He said to me, where is your vehicle? And I told him it is here, and he told me, start the engine.
But I
was not lucky to take my vehicle because the tire was punctured. We went into his vehicle. That NIA boy who came to arrest me alongside Liz called Ibu Sanyang.
Well, weighing escort again with this Lamin Ceesay to serious crime.
He escorted me alongside Lamin Ceesay to the serious crime.
After serious crime, what was Juma Salo man jump for back almost the 12 months.
When we arrived there, the Friday prayer was not yet. It was not yet time for Friday prayer. It was just after 12.
Commissioner Mimbeji.
We went upstairs. As we got into the office, the commissioner who was there.
Ceesay Kayako, Lamin Ceesay Kayako. Yes, sir. I compliment Akaya Felenti, Akaya Jumalanyenta, Akaya Ceesay.
Lamin Ceesay complimented him and told him, and he said to him, who is this guy? And he told him, this is Ceesay.
Ceesay Jumaka, Mimbe detained the NIA.
He told him, which Ceesay? And he told him, the one that was detained at the NIA.
He said to
him, I told you, his case is beyond our ability. Our level. Return him back to where you have taken him from. When I heard this thing, I knew things were getting turned out to be a very serious matter.
Become foolish.
Become very foolish.
Commissioner
The commissioner asked me, what's your name? And I said, Lang Ceesay. He said to me, what happened? I wanted to explain, and then he told me to sit down. He picked up a telephone. He spoke to someone downstairs. He told him, come and collect this guy and take him to the Abuko station. So one night I fuel coupon or deal drive vola. He came, gave fuel coupons to the driver. NIA escort me. Myself, that individual, and the NIA escort. That Abuko station. We went to the Abuko station. When we arrived, it was just past 1 p.m.
Okay, hand over. It will say it now.
They handed me over and they returned. I was seated behind the counter and I was chatting with the SO.
Ko do en statement ota.
He told one officer to take my statement.
Aya start.
He started.
Atata fonyato ay kalalandi.
After some time, he placed down the pen.
Ay kuma kama fa ko ntete nyin kila moy wati be molo safele be dundila doro be ka fenke.
He said, I will not do this against anyone. Every time you are writing things and just implicating people.
Eso kaya ko ela do ko ke just do your job.
So said to him, just do your job.
Abalanta.
He refused.
Statement o safe.
I was the one that wrote my own statement.
Juma saro sidantata sali.
Friday prayer time came and I went and performed my prayers.
All of
us prayed at the mosque and we returned back together.
The commissioner called Bundum Station.
That was when the SO called the commissioner at Bundum Station.
Ceesay Pt1
and told him that Ceesay is here, I want to bring him along. He told him, bring him. He said to him, but there is no vehicle here. But then he told him, take your own vehicle and bring him.
Private drive to Bundum Station.
That was when he took his own private vehicle and drove me to the Bundum Station.
Coming from I hand over when he Lansaro Manjam Fanyola, Ndata Sali Nata.
When we arrived, he handed me over. It was just around 5 p.m. 5 p.m. But before I went for the 5 p.m. prayers, someone said to me, call someone to come and bail you.
Ceesay
He said to me, Ceesay, that day we were all worried here. The soldiers, NIA, police, we were all scattered here trying to look for you. They said you attempted a coup d'etat and you ran away.
Then, I went
and prayed, came back, and it coincided with the arrival of these other people.
That Friday.
My bail was prepared, and I went home that Friday.
So who accused you of making a coup d'etat and running away?
Well, among moto fonye passe.
He did not say identify anyone per se. But he just said to me that they said you attempted a coup d'etat and ran away.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who was that told?
Come back.
To whom was that statement made? To who were you reported to have?
Commissioner. The Commissioner B Division. B Division.
The Commissioner B Division.
Said you were accused of a coup d'etat.
Right.
Did he tell you to whom was that accusation made? Did it reach Yaya Jammeh?
That I wanted to stage a coup d'etat against Yaya Jammeh.
But was Yaya Jammeh informed?
Your information will tell. That was why I file about the phone.
That was the information they gave him, which was why he had my file with him.
But this is something you don't know. This is just hearsay.
During the
course of my detention, I did not know. But when I got to the station, after the bail, I got the information.
When you were interviewed by Gajaga and Sol Baji, did they say anything about coup d'etat?
Biring Gajaga and Sol Baji syndicate Yininga, for a Kumafo and Mensujita and coup d'etat la Kuala.
And he will enter the Kibarolta by Tolman Kibar Dinter. Namanke, a Kaito Mindina, and in Cafonyoko, Nakaito Bea Honorable.
They took information from me, but they did not give me any information apart from the paper they gave me, and also to tell me that my file was with Yaya Jammeh.
From that interview with Sol Baji and Gajaga, did you have anything to suggest to you that they suspected you of having been involved in a coup d'etat?
Oh, you Carol in Jabiro, Mendabed in Gajaga in Solbaji Tema. Folk Fenat and a son Domocono member, Tabisabatin, son Domocono, as a kino, you know, they being can call left a coup d'etat for a killer.
Honey, Namiral Manta or come from?
I did not even think of that.
for all intents and purposes, it was still about this cattle and the obstruction and the assault.
Hamo aning la miro be mem sida ja beta ta nada wala nisi kuoti.
Ani ebo enga menkenka woda ma wole bente ko kono nu.
The cattle and the attack that they did to me, that was what was in my mind.
And was that the only subject of the interview?
Yes.
So this issue about you being involved in a coup d'etat, that was something that was later?
Yes. I
came to know that later.
All right. Okay. Proceed, please.
You be report on bail on Monday.
When I was leaving, he told me you report on bail on Monday.
Jumale case report jang.
Then I asked him, who reported this case here that I attempted a coup d'etat? He said, Pabojang.
I mean, mentioned him before, ko atil tambita team follow nyato min natakan tojo.
He was the one I named here earlier that he led the team that came to torture me.
Okay, ala residency Malombang.
I said, well, but do you know where he resides? He said he does not know.
Okay, a friend nata because it's a common person to me. Nata hadamaya interstate.
Because he was someone that I knew, we had a lot of good relationship. After that, I went home.
Consultation, okay.
Later on, I mounted my own investigations to try to know who Pabojang was.
I think he works with the TRRC here.
One of my colleagues was, I think he works with the TRRC, Akolamin Mane. He said to me that
Pabojang
is a friend of a friend with whom they work together.
The
boy that was circumcised is working with the
boy the child that you circumcised, his father works with Pabojang, and he is his cashier.
Okay.
Then okay, what a problem to Purukawaji.
He said to me it would not be a problem to see him.
So after I
relaxed for a short while,
that guy's name is Saja Kamara.
I went to see that Saja Kamara
with my friend Lamin. Then Saja called Pabojang. That was on Saturday. Saja Pabojang called Akayako.
Saja called Pabojang and said to him,
doctor nyini wolon suto la womna doctor de ngayen case ngayen fa ngayen ko fa.
That doctor we were looking for the other night is my doctor. Let's terminate this case.
Okay. Pabojang kai okay mfele kanilai.
Pabojang said to him, I am in Kanilai.
But Sunday bina ida kiti o sifo bang ni sate fulo kilina ka nyanta musola ni so sambala je ila garden kafuku lemba nyanta ni so sambala woleje nim benta je sa ko discuss that Sunday.
He said he was coming to either Kiti or Sifo because he was taking cattle to one of the women groups there, and that if he came on that Sunday we could meet there and discuss.
Did you meet him on the appointed date?
Amanke.
It never happened.
Did you subsequently get to meet him?
Yeah.
We have to.
Yes, I want to question. Naranata Pabojang meetle.
We eventually went to meet Pabojang.
I promised Diko Nimbe report la bail next obata la case in fata.
He gave a promise that by the next time I would report for bail, that would have the time that the case would have been terminated by then. But when I arrived, the prosecutor said to me, Ceesay, this case of yours, What you are telling me and the order I'm getting from up above is not the same, but I will do my work. I told him, do your work. I leave my things are in the hands of God. So do not be negligent in your work, any bit.
Correspondence do fananta mbarindimma do bije telem nung youth leader tinung APRC.
One of my nephews was a youth leader with the APRC. Called Modun Njai. He is very close to Pabojang.
Would not be a problem.
When he got to know about the case, he said to me, Pabojang would not be a problem. I went together with him to Pabojang, but we could not meet him. But he said to me, he will return back to meet him. But he told me to calm down and stop worrying.
Because what every Friday, every Monday, I can report for a warning letter in
Because that time, at my place of work, I used to report every Monday and Friday to the extent that I was given a warning letter at my place of work.
All right, so Atata Pabojang meet.
He eventually met Pabojang.
Pabojang Kayako, this case is beyond me now.
Pabojang said to him, this case is beyond me now.
So
well, I said, well, whatever we are going to meet ahead of us, we'll get to know.
The next report on bail, data report on bail, wrong.
As I went to report on bail again,
prosecutor Konyoko Sijang.
The prosecutor said to me, sit here. I sat there.
After 1 hour.
After 1 hour.
For some reasons, I don't know.
I called to my place of work and informed them that I am detained here for some time and I do not know for what reasons.
Prosecutor you are going to court today.
The prosecutor came out with some files with one other individual and they told me that today you are going to court. I said it's good.
I'm going to court. I may not come early today.
I called to my office again and informed them that I was going to court and that I will not come early today. They took me to a place where there were 2 chambers. I was sitting in the first chamber, and Edward, who was the judge, came. Magistrate. Since we were acquainted to each other, we just held each other like this, and he said to me, what happened? And before I started explanation, he told me, let me go and undress and come back. Before he came back, they said to me, Ceesay, come here. They transferred me to another chamber.
Okay, prisoners bench.
I went inside and I went on my own and sat on the prisoners' bench. I was there and there was a knocking and an announcement, court rise. A magistrate came in.
He was puzzled.
When our eyes locked, he was puzzled.
Because he's a
younger brother, he's a loved one, and he's someone that I have a very good rapport with. As we were there, our case was called. One boy stood up and said that I knocked him with a vehicle.
In fact, a lot of from prosecutor In fact,
he stood and could not speak. It was a prosecutor who said to him, did you not say that this man knocked you with a vehicle the other day? And he was saying, yes, yes, and he was trying to hold his waist.
Mike. Sorry. But before all this, did you later have a discussion with the magistrate to indicate to him what the charges were against you? Or what the allegations were against you?
Yes.
Case la call follow caller.
After the first, the case was called for the first time, I went to him, to his home.
Prisoners bench, prison.
He said to me, my elder brother, what's the matter? When I saw you sitting on the prisoner's bench, I said to myself, what has this guy done? And when I was with Lamin Mane. He said I was surprised.
nga situation explain ko nga ko mo sutani ka ni sol la alhala ko in fact yow la kente fa wala wolu nga ko nyente be ni si rango normal no be koma rango jam fata na case file be mbulu nyante review la janni be sitting shot la sama.
So just to make the story short, I explained to him about the whole incident of the cattle, and he said to me that that situation also happened to him. He was behind a row of cattle, and he had case files which he was trying to rush to deliver.
Kwenye kabiringa mfutata silo kuntutada menga the other lenta egesen the cattle.
He said when I got to where there was a cross junction and I took the other lane to avoid the cattle.
Kwenye mfutatela tolu kantarla la wato mena do inyapitana moto nyato yotana moto nyato and stop.
He said as soon as I got to where the herders were, they pounced on my vehicle and they stopped me. They told me to reverse back. But after they realized that I was driving a judiciary vehicle and the manner that I was dressed, they asked me to proceed.
But you were ultimately prosecuted?
Yes.
What was the outcome?
Magistrate kwenye ko ye muro bondile mo silandi ya mo fitnandi muro la ko ba threatening violence dali la bantan charge la wala.
They were not coming to present themselves during the courts, but in the end, the magistrate said to me, you took a knife and you threatened someone. And that you have been found wanting on that aspect. We are going to fine you, or you'll spend this amount of time in prison.
What was the fine?
Sanji killing wara 5,000.
1 year or 5,000. But then he asked me, do you have anything to plead to the court? I told him I am a medical personnel, and during the 14 days of my detention, I have lost 12 patients who are HIV patients.
How did you lose them?
No, they died at the clinic. They were going for this presidential treatment, and then and they were not able to cope up.
They went for the president's treatment.
Could you give us a list of those? Not now. Later, give us a list of all those people who died. They died in the PATP, you said.
No, at my clinic, at Jaman Clinic, yes.
But they were part of the PATP.
Right.
All right, and they died.
Yes.
When they died, were they still part of the PATP?
No, they gave up, came back for the RTV, retroviral treatment.
So they gave up on the PATP, and came back for antiretroviral. But they couldn't make it.
They couldn't.
What do you say about the presidential treatment program? Did it work for the patients you met or did not?
If there was any benefit, it's the drinking of the milk, eating of the meat, and eating bananas. Other than that, there is no other benefit. There is no benefit in terms of cure.
All right. So, and then what happened?
Council, I think it's important for us to get that list from him.
Yes.
Notwithstanding the fact that they had left him at the program already.
Yes, we will get the list.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, and then what happened after that?
When I made that plea, then he wrote down something and said, you will pay 1,000 or spend a month in prison. So I and Mane went and paid the 1,000, and we were issued a receipt.
Then tenatana case nimbanta wala nyam.
That was the end of the case.
What did you do after that?
Ina na muna ke wokola.
Ha ntatana clinic oto.
I went to my clinic.
Nintu babombe do kola nkumandi santa konye langa konye man safe jang.
The European that I was working, or the white man that I was working with, said to me, called me upstairs and said to me, Lang, it's not safe for you to be here.
Akonye bifa mo nata jang ngalo ne ko manke sasa toti they were asking for you.
He said today people came here, they were asking for you, but I know that these are not people who are sick.
Konye mbatunga 15 days holiday dila ngejo kodola ye finti domandi rest.
He said to me, let me give you a 15-day holiday and pay you some money so that you can go and rest.
So nyama.
So that was what I did. I went home, left there some money.
Then Senegal.
Then I went to Senegal.
And for how long did you remain in Senegal?
Itara Senegal for what did you do?
6.5 years.
6.5 years.
Why did you stay in for 6.5 years?
Mune sabu jareta puri tara mane membe Senegal memu Senegal bango sanji woro nimfeng.
Komin tambital halo min kono and luma min nam bota jang on the 5th of November.
Because of the experience I have gone through, and the day that I left here on the 5th of November, that day I was informed that people came to look for me at home in the night.
So
To save my life and also to put the mind of my family members at rest. I left the country so that I can have peace of mind.
And how did all this impact your life?
The difficulties it brought me are many. Lack of peace of mind alone. The families is scattered. Their education was retarded. I was there with a woman who got pregnant in my absence.
One of my daughters got impregnated, teenage pregnancy, which is not our desire.
My eldest son died in my absence.
And
while I was away, he was the one who was running things and helping with the family sustenance. In fact, the day that he died, I called him that morning.
Because
I was working with some people who made a payment, so he was to go and receive the balance. I called him and told him that these people said that he should go and collect the balance. And he said, okay, and I gave him the number. I left Kaolack, going to Tambacounda.
I got to
Kafrin around 11. I called him and he said he has spoken to them and that they had asked him to go there around 11 to pick it.
After 1 kata 2 kan.
When I got to Tamba, between 1 and 2, I prayed and relaxed for some time. Around 4, they called to say that he drowned.
That was the end of him.
That was the end of him.
Impact other impact, very negative impact akabara. Because abota fele drone the incidents in Keta so akatu barala akilo manten kuno buruna tata fere and in dinding full toddler soul on a very risky road.
That caused serious implication on the mom, because after that happened, she used to have these frights. So that led me to try for her and the 2 kids who were toddlers to make a risky journey to join me where I was in Senegal. They went to Basse through Wiringara. And I went and picked them up.
When did you return to Gambia?
2017, end of 2017,
I think around end of 2017.
No further questions, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Counsel, and thank you, Mr. Ceesay, for coming to testify before the Commission.
Kiaman ko inumarabake Council inumarabake Mr. Ceesay me musedoti ila sedandiroto Commission wanyatilo.
And we sympathize with you for the sufferings that you endured in the hands of agents of the state.
Ko haninga bi balafa be kang kolea lementaki na bankola tanko bunda do gural bulo kono.
Commissioners, if you have any questions, please indicate.
Commissioner ninga tramomo nyinin karo so sedo isa itanbi.
If not, if you have any remarks, closing remarks to make, please proceed to do so now.
Min tembelaro commissioner moman soro men lafte nyinin kala silang kumo be bulu ninga tre kuma soro be lafle gela kumo da soro menna isi tenteng.
Be ala tentula don be commissioner yin tentula be banko ma sakunda fanan tentula.
Thank God, thank the Commission and also the government of the day.
Ela hakili nyimala kanyin nyong kafolondi pruka tonya fintindi moluka.
For their foresight in establishing this commission to unravel the truth for the good of the population. I also take this opportunity to clear my name because so many things have been said. People are saying he has killed someone and he ran away. He killed he knocked and killed Yajame's cattle and ran away. He planned a coup d'etat and ran away. Many things have been said. But I'm saying to everyone that I have done nothing wrong. It was people who pounced on me and maltreated me and made me to suffer, but I leave everything in the hands of God. But during the time of my detention, I came to realize that here in this country, nobody does not anything. It is people who get up on their own and report you, and then they come after you. Let's be very cautious with the way we deal with one another, and also to give everybody their right. Let us give peace a chance to thrive inside the country. That way is the security grouping that is here, ECOMIC. Let us be very careful with them and give them a chance so that peace will reign in the country. I am not saying that our security services cannot maintain peace in this country, but Africa beto wunno le kama fay bundama pour ye kafu moluma pour ka kairo sabatindi 15 ke wonyama hani. But the whole of Africa will not agree on one voice to create a security wing just for doing so sake. Aketo dlalle to ay jelu wati so wala nam fanam ba kala jasi jam fana wati alamare kairo ke banko kan ni muslim bankol be. Such moves have been done in other countries and it augured well for them, which is why it is also going to be done for this country and it will also augur well for the Gambia. I thank you all. My health situation is something that is also of interest to me. Anina muta wucho aka wucho minta okala fale sa abuka famanna fabanta na muta wucho nyisi tambi luntola. Before I used to experience the trouble intermittently, but after my detention the occurrences are more frequent than before. And so that is something that is worrying me, and I'm throwing out there my appeal for assistance. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ceesay. Again, we share your pain and the difficulties and the losses that your family endured. Council will take a 30-minute break. If that is okay, would the next witness be ready by then?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Oh, good. Fine. We'll come back at 12:45. Meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.